I have a little hack that I think that you're going to like. I am going to use elastic to cinch in a waistline, and I'm going to use it to give some room to a waistline. And that might sound contradictory, but it's not. Stick around and I'll show you how I do it. Hi, I'm Aletha with Ribbons and Zippers. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how I use elastic to perform a really awesome hack that I think that you will like. It is going to cinch in the waist so that it fits, and I'm going to show you how to use it to add a little bit more room and flexibility to the waist. Now, this little hack is one that I use a lot on myself and some other clients as well. However, I don't use it unless I ask. I give them an example, I show them how it's done, and if they like it, then I use it. Now, this little hack in no way substitutes a full alteration. It does not substitute a full alteration. You may need to do a whole alteration by taking loose the waistband and doing the alterations the long way around. This is a quick hack that can be used in a pinch, and I think that you'll like it, so let's get started. Now, this first skirt that I'm going to use is a pencil skirt that has a contoured waistline, but it does not have a waistband. So you're thinking, how am I going to use the elastic to perform this hack? All right, so let's just take a look at this skirt. It has a nice contoured waist. It has darts in the front, and it has darts in the back. So it has darts in the back. If I flip it over, you'll see that it has darts in the front as well. So I'm going to take a look at the construction of this skirt. So if I unzip the zipper, I can tell that it has a facing. The facing is not attached to the skirt. So that's going to make it easy for me. That's one good thing. So as I can pull it apart, I can see that I'm going to be able to work with this really easily. So what I need to do is go under the skirt on the inside. So since it's not attached, that's going to make it so much easier for me. So as you can see, this is the inside of the skirt. And now I need to determine what size elastic I'm going to use, how long I need the elastic to be, what is the length going to be, how much cinching am I going to do. So I'm going to take this elastic that is 3/8 of an inch, it's not quite a half of an inch, and I'm going to attach it to the side seam, and I'm going to pull it and just see how far the elastic pulls before it cinches back in and cinches the waist enough to give a nice fit. So once I do that, then I'm going to just cut my elastic the length that I need. I'm going to attach it to the side seam, and I'm going to attach it to one of the darts in the back, the furthest dart here. So once I do that, I can either attach it by my sewing machine or by hand. I'm going to choose to attach it with the sewing needle and thread. That's going to make it easy for me. So once I attach it, now I'm going to use my sewing machine. I'm going to take off the base so I just have my free arm, and I'm just going to stretch the elastic. So I'm going to stretch the elastic all the way to the length that I need, and then as I'm stretching it, I'm going to create a seam along the edge of the elastic. So I'm doing this in a contrasting thread so that you can see what I'm doing. So once I finish, let me just take a look at it. And now you can see that the elastic cinches in the waist just enough. So now I need to determine, do I need a couple of more stitches? And for this skirt, I think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and make another stitch by pulling my elastic and stitching along the edge of the elastic. And this is being done on the outside of the skirt. So not on the inside on the facing, I'm doing it on the outside of the skirt. Now you can also do it by sewing through the fashion fabric as well as the facing, and it's your choice. So take a look now at what it looks like. So as you can see, with the contrasting thread, the skirt has a nice cinch, and if I do it on the other side, so both sides will have the elastic cinching in my waist, and I love the way this looks. Came out perfect. Now let's take a look at the next skirt. The next skirt, and I hope that you can see it, I do apologize that it's black. It is a straight waistband. It's not a contour like the other one. It's a straight waistband, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. I have 3 panels on either side, and I have the zipper in the middle, but I'm noticing that the waistband is attached. So if I take a good look, I can see that there's a stitch in the ditch. So we know what that means. The inside of the waistband is attached because it's sewn in the ditch. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the stitching, and I'll be right back. So now, as you can see, I've opened up the waistband, and I see that it has the interfacing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my elastic, and I'm going to attach it the same way that I did with the other skirt. Just attach it to the side seam, and I'm going to pull it to a length that I like, so I can make sure that the skirt cinches in. And when I get to that point, then I'll know how much elastic I'll need. So now the next step is to attach the other end to in this case, there's nothing for me to attach it to, so there's no dart for me to attach it to. I just need to attach it to the inside of the waistband. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my sewing machine, put the needle down, and pull. So I need to stretch out my elastic, and as I'm stretching out my elastic, I need to create my first seam. So I'm going to go ahead with this particular skirt, and I'm going to create a couple of seams. And now, as you can see, I've also used contrasting thread for this waistband as well. So the white shows up nicely. You're going to stretch and stitch several stitches, several lines of stitches. It's always up to you how many stitches you want. This elastic is about 1 1/4 of an inch, and so it fits nicely on the waistband. And I'm sewing 3 stitches just to show you guys how it's done. I can easily do 1 more stitch, but this is what it looks like. It gives it a nice little stretch. It cinches in the waistband, and if you were to do it in the color thread that matches your fabric, you wouldn't even tell. It's just really nicely done. I love this little technique and I use it often. So if you like, go ahead and try it. I think that you'll like it as well. So now let me just show you what I do for a skirt that is being done by me. So I have constructed this skirt already, so I have extra fabric. So with this particular skirt, the wearer needs a little bit more room in the waistband, and so I'm going to do this technique, but I'm going to do it in a reverse way. I'm going to make sure that the waistband is exactly the waist size that we need, so it's not going to cinch in, it's not going to tighten. So the waist is 33 inches, so the waistband is going to be the 33 inches plus. I'm going to give a little room for movement, but I'm going to add the elastic. So what I need to do is make the waistband in the back for both sides wider. So I'm going to detach it from the sides. Then I'm going to go ahead and construct a new waistband. I'm going to make it about 1 inch longer for each side. So this one I'm going to make it 8.5 inches. So this is what I'm going to do. As you can see, here's the elastic, and I'm just going to hold it and stretch it. And I'm going to measure how far I need to go in order to get to 8.5 inches once the elastic is relaxed. So this is a good point. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, mark it here and cut the elastic and attach it right where the fabric meets the elastic. So that gives me my 8.5 inches. So I'm shrinking this 9.5 inch waistband down to 8.5 inches. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side and mark it. Now we're going to attach the elastic to the waistband much like we did the other waistband. But when the waistband relaxes, it's going to keep the size that I desire. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this waistband with my sewing machine, and I'll be right back. So this is what it looks like. It looks really nice. It just relaxes right here. Perfectly done. Now I just need to go ahead and complete my whole waistband, and let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like. I think that this is a really awesome technique. Okay guys, so that was the technique that I use. I love using that technique because it's so simple and so easy. It's more like a hack than a technique, but it works for me. It may work for you. It may work for your clients. It's something easy to do. You don't have to take the whole waistband out if you're installing the elastic on an already completed garment that just needs to be cinched at the waist. But if you are constructing a skirt or a pants and you want to have a little bit more room in your garment, try using that elastic technique. It really works. I love it. I think that you'll like it too, and I am going to show you more techniques like that in upcoming videos. So thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video.